Damn, what's going on, Stanwell holders? It's your boy Trucker Snapper. We got some banking activities that are going on that we need to discuss. So I don't know if you guys saw last week, there were a lot of people who didn't get paid on Friday when the direct deposit was supposed to come through. Remember, this is the beginning of the month. All right, people got bills to pay, but there was a delay. And even till now, people have not received their money. And they said it's been fixed, but we're probably going to have to wait till this week to see what happens. But they said that there was a glitch within the payment processing system. Now, this all sounds good and dandy, but we should do some further research and not be just gullible to what they tell us. So I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but a couple months ago we had some banks that shut down. All right, they were insolvent. I think Silicon Valley Bank was one. These banks went under. Okay, it was ugly, and we were afraid of a contagion event. Pretty much other banks being affected by those banks closing, but there were some big major banks that were able to take those banks under their wing, and everything was all fine and dandy. And that's what probably going to be the continual thing that will happen. Banks will continue to buy other banks and consolidate. So we'll have less banks in America, but that's not the discussion right now. We're talking about Citizens Bank and that it shut down. And if I put on my thinking cap, I'm assuming Citizen Bank shut down and then we had problems with deposits. All right. Because it just one happened one day, then like the next day, deposits is an issue. All right. And if you guys don't understand how the banking system works, the Federal Reserve is the top, right? And all the other banks are under it. And at night and certain days, these banks have to exchange certain funds. That's what happens at night. That's why you see your charges are pending. Those things happen overnight. So everyone has to be paid accordingly. If this bank or that bank, when you go to the store and you use your card, you're using a bank to pay another bank. So those transactions have to be settled. All right. And that's just a simple way of explaining it. Now you may be saying, well, Trucker Snap, I really don't care about this bank shutting down. And, hopefully those people get their money that should be deposited in their account. Yeah, cool. That's all cool. But maybe we should look at why this bank is shutting down. You might be wondering, like, why is the bank shutting down? Well, how about they threw an article out there and they said the bank failure was tied to bad trucking loans. And it was explaining pretty much, you know, they don't know why this bank took on so many bad trucking loans, but because the industry is doing so bad, a lot of trucking companies are going out of business. They had to shut their doors. All right. They couldn't take the loss. All right. Now, I just want to explain something. Just give me a moment. I just want to explain something. All right. Now, they will never tell you, and I'm just going to say they will never tell you when there's a crisis. They will never let you know when things aren't working out. When you hear them say everything's okay, just understand everything's not okay. All right. So they will always try to calm the markets, keep everybody, nice and subdued. Go watch some sports. Go just be quiet and don't pay attention to what we're doing. They will always do that. But you're smarter than that. All right. You pay attention, you try to understand so that you can predict and try to do your best to, avoid any kind of, backlash from the bad decision that these people make. Right. So I want to say is they're trying to blame bad trucking loans on the reason why the Citizen Bank shut down, and that could be true. That could be 100% true. We haven't seen the paperwork. We haven't seen any of the the breakdowns of what was on their balance sheet, but that could be true. But let me tell you something else that is true as well, and that's probably even worse than those bad trucking loans. Right? They have. Let me just explain this real quick. When we were going through that moment when a lot of money was being printed, a lot of interest rates were very low, stimulus checks, I'm talking about PPP loans. You know the era, all the money was coming through. All right. When that was happening, the banks got all that money sitting and they needed somewhere to put it. So during that time, the safest investment was a bond. So these banks, I think they're required to have a certain amount of bonds. So some of these banks, they went and put a lot of money into bonds, but bonds were very low when it came to interest rates. If you don't understand how bonds work, it's just like other assets. All right. If interest rates are low, bonds are expensive and you're not getting a good return on it. So it's not really a great investment, but that's what the banks could do at the moment because they can only do so much with the money, but they don't want to just sit there and inflation eat it up. So they got to put it somewhere. All right. So what happened is the people who are controlling the interest rates, they raise interest rates very fast within a year and a half time frame. We're up to like 5% now. Okay. So with that, what happens is when interest rates go up, the values of any assets go down. That's how it works. Interest rates go up, the value of the assets go down. So these bonds are negative. The values of them negative. So a lot of these banks are sitting on losses with these bonds, but you only lose money when you sell. That's the only time you lose money is when you sell. If you have a house and it's underwater, the only way you lose money is if you sell. But if you wait until it goes up, you can make your money back. But what if it's not going up right now? Okay, are you able to allow people to come and take money out of your bank, and then you run low on capital, liquid? This is all speculation. But I just want to tell you guys, I'll be very concerned. Okay, be very concerned. I'll keep some dry powder under my mattress, guys. All right. So the point I'm trying to make is, believe half of what they say. Okay, pay attention to what they do, because I don't think trucking was the reason why that bank shuttered, but I do know trucking is going through a recession. So I understand that it's gonna affect everyone. It's not trucking affecting them; it's them affecting trucking. Okay. But you guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. What do you think going on in the banking system? Like, what's going on? Y'all think that anything makes sense here? You guys let me know. Don't forget to follow. Peace.